5. Now, back to Silver Moments with Dr. Marcia Baltimore.
Good morning again, everyone. I wanted to talk about the anger problem for a minute before we leave this morning. And why? Because that's the most serious of all. If you keep that anger bottled up, you're going to ruin your marriage. So I don't want you to do that, and that's why I'm going to read to you from Mrs. Botwin's book, her list of unconstructive behaviors that are caused by your anger. One thing you don't want to do is rehash all the disappointments you've ever had with this spouse since you met each other, since that day. I remember in 1970 when you this, in 1980 when you that. Forget it. Don't do that. Second thing is to talk sarcastically to your mate. Do not do that. And using generally derogatory statements like, that's so typical of you. Don't do that. Label your partner's behavior by saying it was dumb of you. Or call a person by a name. You dirty rat. That's from the comedy, but something even worse than that, a name that doesn't mean anything except that it's a derogative. And threaten your spouse. Don't do that by saying, like, I'm going to leave you unless. None of that. That's ridiculous. You say, I'm not happy with what's going on. How can we fix it? That's all right. And then he'll say, or she'll say, what's wrong with what's going on? And you tell her or him. And then you go fix it. And don't use physical hitting, kicking, scratching, slapping, or pushing with your mate. Don't do that. Why? Silly. You can talk it out or write it out. And don't interrupt while the other one is talking. Don't show a lack of caring. Don't show that you don't respect your partner. Don't say you don't care what he or she thinks. Don't say I don't care what you say. I care what I say. That's wrong. You have to care what both of you say and solve it. So that's what I'm trying to tell you here. We don't want you to reject your partner by leaving the room or get out of my sight saying remarks like that. And we don't want to attack the complaints of the other person in the room. You have to say, how can we fix it? What can we do? So I wanted you to know about Dr. Helen Singer Kaplan. She writes about the disorders of sexual desire and centers it around making up before you make love. So you don't get angry before you kiss your husband. You talk to him. Or you don't get punchy or nasty or derogatory before you come into a room for your wife. You ask her something special, and she will say she'll do it, or she'll say why she won't. And you can demand why she won't, but nicely. So that's what I have to say today about trying to find a middle ground for your anger, trying to manage it, because it can lead to very negative things. Now, there's an organization in the United States called the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. I'm going to say that again. American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. You can probably put it in your internet and it'll come up with an address. I haven't got that, but you can do that. And once you do that, you'll be able to find out how to prevent some problems you think you're having and how to ameliorate some beginning behaviors that are starting out. in your quest for positiveness.